Let me take you all through the designing process of this sci-fi spacesuit for my upcoming short film to be made in Blender and Unreal Engine called Oxygen. The first step would be designing the base of the spacesuit. For that, you can use human characters from MB Lab or Human Generator, or basically any base human mesh that you can find. I am starting with the base mesh of my character for the film Oxygen. Unfortunately, I have to start by separating his head from the body. So I did that in edit mode and also removed the teeth, eyeballs, etc. Then I removed the faces around the navel of the model and filled it with grid fill to make a smooth transition. The next steps were to separate the hands and the feet from the body so that we can have a clean base suit mesh to start from. I renamed it to suit base and then began adding the macro details. I wanted some ridges at the elbow joints and the knee joints to show that the suit has some sort of reinforcement that helps him move. So I selected alternate edge loops, beveled them slightly and used extrude along normal to create some ridges near the elbow joint. It's also very important to bring in a reference to start modeling from. I also deleted half of the faces in the mesh and added a mirror modifier just to make our job simpler. I selected alternate edge loops in the knee region, beveled them and extruded them along normal to create some ridges. I also generated some more reference images of futuristic spacesuits from Leonardo AI and dragged it in Blender to use as a reference image. I selected some faces on the outer thigh to make some panels or armor plates. This suit is supposed to be for explorer missions or rescue missions on alien planets, so it has to be a mix of tactical and functionality. I selected some faces near the shoulders to make shoulder pads for him. I also wanted to make the suit feel like it was assembled or stitched from different parts, so I selected some edge loops on the torso and made some stitching lines. The suit piece was looking good now. Let's start adding the other details. Now, modeling from a reference doesn't mean you exactly copy the reference image. It gives you a starting point to know what you have to model, dimensions, positioning, etc. I used a simple plane and shaped it into a chest plate for the spacesuit. I deleted half of the plane and added a mirror modifier and added many loop cuts in between so that we can use the Shrinkwrap Modifier after this step. Add a Shrinkwrap Modifier to the chest plate, choose the target as the suit base and change the snap mode to above surface. You can change the offset if the chest plate is intersecting with the suit base. After this, I added a Solidify modifier to give the chest plate some thickness. Make the thickness negative to make it solidify in the other direction. The Shrinkwrap modifier is a great way to deform objects around your target mesh. You can also move the shrink-wrapped object front or back to change the coverage on the base mesh. After this, I went into edit mode and used the existing edge loops to start extruding some faces to form some straps around the suit base. Since the Shrinkwrap modifier is already applied, the new extruded faces also wrap around the suit base flawlessly. If you see your Shrinkwrap mesh getting distorted, change the wrap method to tangent normal project in the Shrinkwrap modifier. That should fix the topology issues. I selected the panels that I made on the thighs and defined them more, and now we were starting to get somewhere. I put some basic materials on it to check the suit out in rendered view. I selected more edge loops on the torso, beveled them and extruded them along normal to make more stitches or ridge lines. Then I used a simple cylinder to model the base of the airlock where the helmet would attach with the suit. It's very low poly and just a placeholder for now. Then I used the reference image to start modeling the other small details, the belt buckle for example. I just followed the reference and used simple primitives to block out the shape. Placed it along the torso, scaled it and positioned it like a belt buckle. I selected some faces on the suit base, duplicated them, separated them and used the shrink expand tool in edit mode to expand the belt base a little bit outwards. I used the Solidify modifier to give it some thickness. Then I modeled the electronics on the front that we see in the reference. I used simple primitives as I want to keep the model low poly at this point. I'd imagine this specific electronic part is the life support system that is controlling the suit. You can also use the different matte cap options in the viewport shading to visualize your model better while you're making it. I added some simple buttons, dials, and a screen that I'll use to texture with custom HUD elements later. Now we need to make some hooks or fasteners that affix this life support system to the suit. So I started modeling them from simple beveled cubes. I added some hooks to the sides of the life support electronics and used a mirror modifier to duplicate them on the other side. I used a part of the belt buckle that I made before to make the hooks for the fastening belts. Similarly, like before, I selected edge loops on the torso and expanded them outwards to make the belts or strap that hold the life support system in place. So the suit was coming together quite well. We got some armor plates, electronics, belt, etc. To be honest, I've not modeled any human meshes from scratch, so making hands and feet are quite difficult. So for the gloves, I used the hands from the base human mesh I started with, very painstakingly removed the faces that were forming the nails and went into sculpt mode and used a smooth brush to smooth it out. Did the same for all the fingers and I was left with a decent mesh to use as a base for the gloves of the suit. I used a simple plane to make some pads on top of the gloves. Then I used the Shrinkwrap Modifier with tangent normal project and snap mode to above surface to fit the pads on the gloves. And finally add a solidify modifier to give it some thickness and also shade it auto smooth. Now I just applied all the transforms for the gloves and added a mirror modifier to just duplicate the glove on the other side. I somehow managed to make the gloves, but the shoes were an absolute nightmare. These are the first pair of shoes I've ever modeled in Blender. So yeah, please forgive the horrible boots that I'm going to make for this suit. I used a simple cube and extruded sections of it to cover the foot mesh. Scaled different edge loops to snugly fit the foot inside the boot. Then I added a subdivision surface on the boot, scaled it up slightly and went into edit mode to further start refining the shape of the boots. I was not really happy with where this was going, but then I went to Google and searched images of astronaut boots, and to my surprise, they kind of looked similar to the crappy boots I was making, so I went ahead with modeling the rest. After refining the shape a bit more, I added a mirror modifier to remove any topology issues, applied it, and then went into sculpt mode. I used a cloth sculpt brushes to add some wrinkles and creases on the base mesh. If you cannot get the creases to show up right, then you can increase the subdivisions on your base boot mesh. I placed the boots along the spacesuit and then went ahead with adding some minor details like the grip on the bottom of the shoes, some flaps, fasteners, and things like that. Now it was time to model the helmet. I brought in a reference image of a helmet I liked from Cyberpunk 2077 to use as the base for my model. I have also never modeled a helmet before, so this was the very first time. If I'm doing anything wrong or if I can do anything better, just let me know in the comments. I added a UV sphere and selected some faces and separated parts to make the glass and the back of the helmet. I separated the two parts and expanded the mesh outwards using the shrink expand tool in edit mode. Used a simple cylinder to start modeling the base of the airlock of the helmet. I'm keeping the model pretty low poly at this point because I will be adding high poly details and baking them onto it later. I added a subdivision modifier on the airlock and started refining the shape even further. And then I started adding the other details onto the helmet, like the two discs on the sides of the helmet, which I just modeled with simple cylinders and mirrored them to duplicate them on both sides. The light that is attached to the side of the helmet in the reference image, and added two simple spheres on it that could be used as emission for the renders. I also modeled a grate and the holding mechanism for the light. Then I also modeled a structure that looks like an air filter on top of the helmet. Final design depends on the functionality that you want to show and your imagination as well. I looked at images of more helmets and started refining the airlock section. After I was happy with the base modeling, I brought it into the main project, scaled it and positioned along the suit. It was not exactly matching up with the suit base, so I sculpted it a little bit outwards and also modeled the airlock to extend downwards more. Next, I added 2 inlet/outlets for pipes that could be part of the life support system of the spacesuit. I used simple Bezier curves to model some pipes connecting to it and gave it some bevel depth to make it look like an actual pipe. After that, convert it to a mesh, select alternate edge loops, and you can bevel it and extrude them inwards or outwards to create some ridged pipes. I was quite happy with the design so far. Then I modeled some oxygen tanks, a regulator, as part of the life support system of the spacesuit. The tanks are simple cylinders and the brackets holding them together are just edge loops separated from the main cylinder mesh. I also added some small parts like an air filter, maybe a catalytic exchanger to remove the harmful gases, etc., just to make the life support system look more functional. And of course, more pipes connecting the gas tanks to the life support system. And I beveled the alternate edge loops to create some ridges on the pipes. Mirrored them to duplicate them on both sides. Finally, I added some small details on the boots as they were feeling quite empty. Just some functional looking things and nothing that looks out of the place. The base low poly model was now complete. Now comes the really tedious part, UV unwrapping. I'm just going to speed through this process. It's incredibly tedious and I'm not very good at it, so I'm using add-ons like Zen UV or UV Pack Master. So feel free to use some add-ons to help in your UV workflow. Also use checker textures to visualize if your model is unwrapped properly. The low poly model was now ready and I duplicated the model into another project, called it high poly, and added a subdivision modifier on each of the different parts to start adding the high poly details. I used one of my favorite add-ons for this called Random Flow. It's really easy to select some faces and add pipes, panels, bolts very quickly in a matter of seconds onto your models. It's an incredibly helpful tool for sci-fi design and hard surface modeling. I selected the different parts of the suit and started adding panels, bolts, rivets, etc. For some final detailing, I selected the suit base, went into sculpt mode and used some cloth brushes from Blender kit and added some creases, wrinkles and folds where the suit would naturally wrinkle or fold when a human is wearing it. Make sure you have enough subdivisions on your base mesh to add cloth detail properly, and you can just search for cloth brushes in Blender kit. I have just started to use Substance Painter and mainly for its high poly to low poly baking workflow, which is extremely useful in making realistic models for 3D animations. I baked all the details from the millions of polygon high poly model onto the 185,000 low poly model. I used some simple smart materials and tweaked them according to the look of the spacesuit that I wanted. A cross between a military application and also an exploration mission. I added some basic materials and exported them to have a non-damaged version of the suit first. Then I went into smart masks and added different types of edge wear, fabric fray, dust and other masks because I need a damaged version of the spacesuit for the scenes in my short film. Once I'm more confident about the workflow in Substance Painter, I'll make some tutorials about it. After exporting the textures, I wanted to get them back in Blender to get some renders out obviously. There's a very easy way to set up materials if you have the Node Wrangler add-on enabled. Select the principal BSDF and press Ctrl+Shift+T and it'll open a dialog box for you. You can just select all the different texture maps for the material that you want to make and Blender will automatically set up the materials for you. This is the first detailed character model I've made from scratch and I was quite happy with how it turned out. You will see more assets of oxygen every week as I keep designing them. Let me know what you think about the progress so far and what you'd like to see next. I hope this video helps you in your sci-fi design journey. Like, subscribe, comment and follow to watch more videos every week.